Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. Yes, time to talk about Alexis Mac Allister. Liverpool have been linked with the Brighton star. Apparently, according to some reports, his dad, who is also his agent, was even spotted at Anfield during Liverpool's humiliating defeat to Real Madrid. Hopefully, that hasn't put him off too much if he is on his way to Liverpool. Maybe he's just signing for Real Madrid instead, in which case he'll have had happy times. But yeah, I spoke to Goal.com's Neil Jones on this week's JOURNO Insights, all about the links, the chances of getting him out of Brighton and all that kind of stuff. Bringing that to you very, very shortly. Just to let you know, if you want to watch the entire show, or indeed, if you want to listen to it, if you use the code JOURNO, JOURNO, when you sign up on redmenplus.com as a monthly club captain, we'll give it to you for 99p a month for the first 3 months. So yeah, if you want to watch the entire show, of which you're about to see a little clip from, like I say, redmenplus.com, club captain for £5 a month. But if you use the code JOURNO, JOURNO, you'll get it for 99p a month. Right, let's hear what Neil had to say. We always thought transfers in the show. It never stops, even a week after the transfer window closed or whatever. We're a little month further now. But the latest news cycle brings Alexis Mac Allister onto the Liverpool radar. So the reports saying that his agent was spotted at the Real Madrid game, sitting among Liverpool officials. According to Footy Insider, they've been an interested registered in the World Cup winner as well. It feels like every single week, Neil, there's a different midfielder's name being wheeled out. Some of them are consistent. I.e. Jude Bellingham's name. We've heard Nunes, we've heard Mason Mount, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on and on and on. And now it's a time for Alexis Mac Allister. I think the report was he's ready for his big move. And obviously, post-World Cup, that obviously makes a lot of sense. If he's going to get one, it might be now. But is he a player who's ever come across the Liverpool radar before the last couple of months? Like I say, it feels like he's never really been one anyone's considered, but he's had a very good, obviously had a good World Cup. He's Brighton having a pretty good season. But I'll be honest, that this link was one that kind of took me a little bit by surprise, if truth be told. I hadn't even considered him, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's true that for a start. It's his dad, isn't it? His agent, Carlos, who, if you've seen him, he looks like an old Scottish midfielder. If you've seen him, how he looks, ginger hair, not your typical sort of Argentinian look. But I don't know if that's true that he was at Anfield for the Real Madrid game, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, he's a player, isn't he? Who should be looking for a move, really. If you've just won the World Cup and you're playing for Brighton, no disrespect, I think you feel like you've got opportunities there to go somewhere else. I mean, it's interesting because when you do sort of the background on players, and I did some background on Caicedo and sort of some statistics, it was before Liverpool played them in the league or the cup. And you're looking at what Caicedo does and what Caicedo might be good at and what type of midfielder he is or where he stands out. And Mac Allister sort of stood out almost in every category above him. It was almost like Caicedo was sort of top 5, but Mac Allister's up there. And, it feels like he gets to do an awful lot of work statistically anyway, in terms of tackles and passes and chances created and recoveries and things like that. So he's clearly a player who's having a very good season. He's probably had a very good couple of seasons. His stars in the ascendancy, and you'd expect if Brighton have got anything about them, they'll be thinking we can make an awful lot of money off one or both of these two. They turned down an awful lot of money in January for Caicedo, so I don't expect them to let Mac Allister go on the cheap. I haven't heard Liverpool being in for him other than the fact that he's obviously a good player. That goes without saying, really. Brighton are having a little bit of a drop off, aren't they? I think they're not sort of not maintaining that early season form, but he's furthered his reputation definitely, and yeah, it'd be interesting to know if that was true. It would be fairly significant, wouldn't it, if Carlos Mac Allister was there with the Liverpool officials? It'd be quite a public sort of hint to drop, wouldn't it, to have a player's father and agent with the club delegation in a match like that. But yeah, maybe there'll be another story there, a reason for that.
He's signing for Real Madrid. That's it come from the guys at Football Transfers, by the way. If anyone wants to go and check that out, it's there for you to go and read yourselves. First things first, when I googled him, I didn't realise he was only 24. He's a bit like me. He looks like a lad who's had a hard paper round. But also the point you made there before about Brighton and the Caicedo stuff. Obviously, Chelsea and Arsenal really trying really hard to get him. They are a club who, with an owner who's got a history of gambling for a start, so maybe that leads into this. But like, They are not they're not a team which is easy to get players out of. You can get players out of Brighton, but they are really, really good at getting every possible thing. So I was thinking on this one, it's like, if we all know the Jude Bellingham stuff is real and Liverpool are going to do everything. We've heard more stuff coming out every single day about him. Then there's links to Nunes. Then there's links to Mason Mount. It's like, to add an Alexis Mac Allister on top of it. This is where the fees start getting absolutely enormous, because a World Cup winner, with all due respect, they were asking for 80 million for Caicedo, I think was what Arsenal were quoted.
Yeah.
Why on earth would he accept anything less for Alexis Mac Allister? That's where we're at with a World Cup winner and the selling club who are happy to keep older players. They're in no rush to let people go because their financial situation is quite stable.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with buying players from the Premier League, isn't it? Premier League is where the money's at. So Premier League clubs don't have they only have a small select group of clubs they can sell to, but obviously that means that they can dictate the price almost, doesn't it, in terms of make it what they want. So it's not the same as buying from, Dortmund's a little bit of a different example, but if you're buying from Serie A or La Liga, you're able to know the sort of the price is going to be a little bit more manageable. If you're buying from Premier League clubs, there's a premium on top because they're in such a good financial situation, aren't they? And Brighton have sold very well in recent years, with Cucurella and Ben White and Basuma and people like that. So they've managed to refresh their squad without sort of going into the net spend sort of argument. They've been able to pay for their own investments, if you like, and managed to get better and better as well. Even with the manager, haven't they? They were able to bank some good money for the manager and then appoint someone who arguably is doing an even better job since then. So they won't be too worried. I don't think they'll be sort of. You've even seen with Caicedo, I think that they showed a lot of mettle and gumption at the back end of the window there. It used to be the case, didn't it? When a player sort of said, I want to leave, the club almost had to sort of hold his hands up and say, okay, off you go then, and Brighton just said, no, stay away, wait till the window shuts. And sure enough, he's back in the side, isn't he, and back playing. I don't know if he's at the same level as he was, but he's certainly getting picked by the Brighton manager, and they certainly trust him enough. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be bullied into doing anything that they don't want to do, and certainly not for a fee that they don't want to sell for.
Yeah, again, feel free to disagree. My reading on this one, it would be like there's probably targets above this type of player. We know who they are, but we spoke, didn't we, a few weeks ago, rather, about when Liverpool didn't get Tchouaméni and they decided not to push the button on whoever was next. Obviously, it was Bellingham was in there as well, but they decided not to go down that route. I don't think they've got that option this summer, really. If they can't get options 1, 2, and 3, then 4, 5, and 6 need to be next on the list. Is that how you see this one as well? Liverpool have always been so patient, and they've gone, right, don't get in, we'll wait for them, or we'll only do the right deal. It feels like midfield's becoming a point now where whoever it is probably going to be an upgrade, and they can't afford to. So maybe that's where links like this come from.
Yeah, well, there was a very pointed quote from Jurgen Klopp last Friday, wasn't it, before the Palace game, where he said, the good thing about football is there's a lot of the right players about, he said, didn't he? So, that goes against what Liverpool have sort of said in the past, really. Liverpool have almost been of the opinion that now 2 or 3, or 1 or 2 are there. But Jurgen Klopp said, no, we need to be active, didn't he? He said it needs to be a big sum. We need to do something. And I think he also said, well, he did also say, we need to do it quite early as well, before we know whether we're in the Champions League or not. So, you can read into that what you want, but that would suggest to me that movement is already underway on certain fronts, and certainly that certain targets have been identified and something has been put in place. So, yeah, I don't think we'll see a situation where Liverpool say, oh, we couldn't get him, so we're not going to do anything. They can't afford to do that. They need probably 2 midfielders, probably 3, definitely a centre-back, maybe another forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, at the moment, the chances seem slim. But, if this ever does happen, we'll all be going. We should have seen this one coming. The fact that our fella was sat next to Liverpool at Anfield, maybe that was a bit of a telltale sign.
Do you remember the last one I remember? That was it Sylvain Marveau? Remember him when he was in the director's box at Anfield, and he ended up going to Newcastle instead of Liverpool, didn't he? But I remember him being at a game once, and it was all like, oh, well, he's obviously joining Liverpool. Like, yeah, he never did. But
no, he never did.
No,
maybe Alexis Mac Allister. He might be going to that. Was it? We'll keep an eye on that. If Liverpool do sign him, the Argentinian. Remember this one where we actually did there was probably a big beacon of hope there, wasn't it? That we probably maybe missed. Right, thanks very much to Neil for joining me. Yeah, usually that's an in-studio show. It had to be remote today because basically Neil had a couple of things on, but it's fine. We want to make sure you guys got the show. Yeah, if you want to watch the entire show or indeed listen to it as a podcast each and every week, as well as our other amazing Redmen Plus content, like I say, redmenplus.com. Use the code JOURNO when you sign up as a monthly club captain. You'll get it for 99p a month for the first 3 months. So go and check it all out, see if you like it. Hopefully you will. And yeah, we'll be back next week with another clip from JOURNO Insights. Until then, see you in a bit. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that show. I'm sure you did. If you want even more amazing Redmen content in your ears or in your eyes, come and join us over on redmenplus.com. We've got absolutely amazing interviews, features, documentaries, and even more of the shows like you've just watched. So yeah, head on over to redmenplus.com and become a Redmen Plus club captain or club legend. I promise you won't regret it.